93 of 334 laps complete in the Samsung Radioshack 500 at Texas Motor Speedway. Remember that issue we had on pit road on the first pit stop with everybody on pit road and all the congestion? Well, thanks to this young man, we're not going to see much of that the rest of the day. He is setting a torrid pace, and now just about half the field remains on the lead lap. 23 of 43 cars. Only 2 in the garage, Kirk Shelmerdine and Todd Modine. 41 cars on track.
Let me tell you, they did it in the pits again. That 17 bunch did. He was almost a lap down when the pit stop cycle started. And right now, he's got a pretty comfortable lead over the 9 car, Casey Kane, and he's up to 19th place. So, once again, a little magic in the pits.
Well, I think one thing that helped him, Darrell, and they knew this, they were one of the first cars to hit pit road for those fresh tires, so they got a little advantage, more laps with those fresh tires before everybody else pitted.
And Casey was one of the ones I was watching to get on pit road very cautious. And that's kind of the rookie thing, you know, he just doesn't know exactly how far to push it.
The Killer Bees for Robbie Reiser made up 6 positions for Matt Kenseth on pit road. And Larry, it's like you talked at the top of the show. You can't really gain time on the pits, but you can lose time. Were they that good, or did 6 other cars have issues with their pit stops, or a combination of both?
I think it was a combination of both, Mike. I think they were very solid. There was no mistakes. Matt made no mistakes. And Jeff Hammond, I mean, that is a huge key here. We talked about it in the beginning. You can't make mistakes, but that driver can't make a mistake either getting in or out.
He really can't, Larry. But I think the important thing is not the positions that he picked up, which are a benefit when the leader's trying to come back through that traffic, but it was the time that these guys gained. They picked up 5 seconds on the leader, which is huge on a racetrack like this. And a guy that, like Casey Kane, who is so fast right now, it could be the difference between losing a lap later on and not.
Well, the big difference, all you have to look at is Derek Cope. Derek was a top 10 car in that Arnold Motorsports number 50 you see, battling Elliott Sadler, and he was a top 10 car. Now he is laps down and finds himself in 39th place. They had a long stop. They had to push the car away from the pits. Matt, what happened?
Well, first off, Mike Hillman made a great call on track position, took on 2 tires the first stop. The car was a little free. When he made his way to pit road, he ran out of gas. The car stalled. It would not refire. A heartbreaker for Derek Cope. Now runs 2 laps down in the 39th position.
I mean, he had one of the fastest race cars. I think we documented it through those first 70 or 80 laps. He was making gains on the top 5 cars the whole time.
Another car right there that's done a really good job of getting himself up in contention here too, Larry, the 38 car. They had a good pit stop. He had been coming pretty much before the stops, and now he finds himself in 3rd place. Pretty good run for a cat that almost could have won this race last year.
Elliott Sadler is 3rd. We've talked about cars trying to stay on the lead lap. Been a little bit of a tough road for Jamie McMurray and Scott Wimmer. They've both gone a lap down to the leader. As Dale Jarrett is under, you saw him under fire there from Kevin Harvick. There's McMurray and Wimmer.
You know, I'm very surprised this 42 car is not running any better than it is here. I mean, this is the same car that he ran so strong with at Atlanta and Las Vegas. And coming to Texas, when you thought of cars that would have good runs here based on their history, you figured the 42 car would be one of them.
And Larry, I tell you, I kind of know Jamie pretty well, Jamie McMurray pretty well. Very sensitive kid, and I think what happened last week could be affecting him this week. Emotionally, mentally, doesn't want to get himself in trouble again this week. Kind of maybe taking the cautious approach.
Matt Kenseth and Mark Martin pitted together, came out together, and now they have caught Dale Jarrett and Kevin Harvick.
But the big problem all these cats have got is that 9 car. He just keeps on trucking.
While these fellas race for 7.
They're all back here side by side racing each other, and he's just going on, man. He's cutting some really fast laps in the 29s.
Yeah, the leader's only about 2 to 3 seconds behind this group. They don't need to be racing side by side longer. We've already documented when you run like Dale Jarrett in the 88, Matt Kenseth in the 17, you can't optimize your lap time. But they're all in desperation right now.
Hanging on for dear life.
Way low. Here comes Brendan Gaughan.
Man, and all these guys, the reason they're racing so hard is right behind them is the leader. And I mean right there he is.
If there was ever a young dog that would stick his nose through the crack in the fence, it's Brendan Gaughan. If there's a hole, he's going for it.
And, you know, he's great on this racetrack. He's won 4 straight truck races here. And I really thought he would be really good today in that car.
And right behind Casey Kane in that 9 car is his teammate, Jeremy Mayfield, in the 19 car. Now, he's sitting back there in 23rd position. Right now, he would essentially be the car that would get a free pass if the caution come out. But a lot of problems on that pit stop put him from being a top 10 contender to a lap down.
Brendan Gaughan's going to need a caution because that first red car is Casey Kane, is the race leader, and is coming fast. His last lap, a 30-32. Well, Mark Martindale Jarrett 30-40, 30-60 on the last lap. You wouldn't think 2 or 4 tenths would make a lot of difference.
Outside on the quarter pedal, outside. Clearing.
Brendan's got that thing up in that groove that he likes here, that high outside line, trying to hold off Casey Kane.
Let's go to
Barely there, outside. Clear.
DW, but this is where owner Ray Evernham was in the spotter stand, is trying to work young Casey through that traffic. 3 laps before, so there's a pack of cars that are running a little bit wild in front of you. Let's take our time. We've got a great race car. Let's take our time and work our way through it. Let's just be patient. Remember the good car that you have. And also, we would be remiss, DW, if we didn't mention that today is partner Ray Evernham and wife Mary's 17th wedding anniversary.
Yeah, congratulations. I'll tell you something else I would personally be remiss of if I didn't mention today is Bill Francis' birthday. And I promise you, Bill, I'll have your present there tomorrow. I just didn't get around. I've been busy today. I'll get you a present.
And Friday was one of your former car owners' birthdays, Rick Hendrick.
Rick here.
While we're blowing out candles, we'll take a break from Texas Motor Speedway, where Casey Kane leads Sterling Marlin by 5 seconds and is putting a whole lot of good cars 1 lap down.
Welcome back at the Texas Motor Speedway. Casey Kane, who celebrates his birthday next week on Saturday. He'll turn 24 years old. He is the leader. There's Brendan Gaughan as Casey Kane leading the pack. Let's recap a little bit what happened early on. And we've been going green for the last 105 laps. The caution early with Jeff Gordon on the back of Casey Mears. You see the debris flying, and then a number of lead changes off pit road.
Yeah, right there. Rusty Wallace and Sterling Marlin both took on 2 tires, and right after the restart, Sterling Marlin goes underneath Rusty Wallace and takes the lead here in Texas.
And then you see Bill Elliott taking the lead. We have the veterans of Sterling Marlin, Rusty Wallace, Bill Elliott trading the lead change until Casey Kane took over on lap 49. Dodge's dominating the bulk of this race. As we're back to live action, Casey Kane leading Sterling Marlin and Elliott Sadler to the moment. You know, Kane, highest finishing rookie in 4 of the last 5 Cup races, Jeff, and that disappointing finish at Bristol where he was 40th after the Jamie McMurray incident. He told me on Friday that McMurray apologized to him on Thursday. He got over that, said it would not at all be on his mind as he took to the track today, and so far he's running a good race.
So far, I agree with you right now as we see Jeff Gordon right now going underneath Bobby Labonte for position, and that was our pole setter right there, Labonte, and that was for 9th place. But going back to Casey Kane, now Casey really, I thought, was going to be tried here in Texas, and it's really good to see him be able to rebound like he did as he's trying to put the veteran Kevin Harvick down a lap right there coming off, it looks like turn 4. I mean, he has really got a dominant race car right now, Chris, and they've got it hooked up beyond belief.
Look a little further back of the pack. Matt Kenseth moving up to 16th, our current points leader. And Matt, 3 of his 9 career wins have come from the 25th starting position. That's where the 17 car started today. He dipped back to a little bit around 32, but he's working his way back up. And no driver has ever won the Busch race in Texas and then Sunday won the Cup race.
That's true, Chris. But right now, Matt Kenseth is running for his life because in his rearview mirror, he knows that Casey Kane is on a tear and he's coming after him. Right now, he's trying to get every car he can between him and that leader. As you can see right now, he just went by Rusty Wallace for 16th, and he's trying really hard. As we see Casey Kane in the picture right there, he is really breathing down his back.
Let's take a look at Elliott Sadler. making a move on Sterling Marlin, or at least trying to. And you know, when we talked about points, remember you have to be within 400 points of the lead coming into today. Guys like Ricky Rudd, Michael Waltrip, Ricky Craven were out of that section so far. They're each 2 laps down, and a caution has come out on lap 118, debris on turn 4, with Casey Kane leading Sterling Marlin.
Huge break right now as we see the caution out there being displayed for Matt Kenseth and several other drivers right now trying to get back on the lead lap here.
All right, let's go back upstairs, rejoin Mike, Larry, and Darrell.
The caution flies with just 17 cars on the lead lap. And by the way, blow out those birthday candles for Rick Hendrick and save them for July 12th. That's when NASCAR Stats has his birthday. Son Ricky Hendrick's birthday was last week. He turned 24.
Save me, I know that.
You still got time to get a present.